With the trailer for next season coming out on the 5th, and this season coming to an end on the 10th, I thought it would be fun to look back on the season because it's been quite a packed one. We had a decent amount of stuff this season, ranging from different events to the World Championship Finals of OWCS and Hazards Test Weekend. So let's go back in time and break down the highs and lows of this past season. I'll get into it in a minute, but first I'm gonna ask you to subscribe, as I want to keep making Overwatch 2 related content that isn't only entertaining, but informative too. We're nearing 1k subs, and it'd be super cool if we reached such a big milestone by the end of the year. Now.
What we do here is go back.
At the start of the season, we had all the Halloween stuff, hence why this battle pass is themed to witches and whatnot. No complaints here. I thought both the battle pass and the new Junkenstein's Lab game mode, or whatever it was called, were super fun and different enough to not be boring and recycled messes that we usually get. Looking at you, Winter Wonderland. Was kinda bummed that Widowmaker got the mythic skin over a tank because we haven't had one since... well. Overall, a great start to the season. The rewards for the event were kinda crap, but I'll take XPO for nothing, especially at the start of the season because it's a nice boost towards the end of the battle pass, meaning our reward was essentially whatever we got in that. Granted, you actually bought it, unlike me. God, I'm so humble and frugal. A little bit later on, we had our big collab, quote-unquote, event. Overwatch x My Hero Academia. Now, this collab meant nothing to me personally because I don't really like My Hero. I think I watched the first season and about half the second season and then ended up dropping it because it was just kinda like X-Men but cringe. But I can appreciate how huge it was for people that do like the anime and manga. There's no doubt about how big of an IP it was to score a collab with, so it has me excited for future collabs. Most of the skins were great, but it's kind of annoying that Juno got a skin before Venture, but I'm not going into that, especially after the survey skins were revealed. Now, the rewards for playing the game during this collab were pretty good, but I would have preferred them to give us something a bit bigger like they did during the Cowboy Bebop collab, when we got all the Ein stuff for Hammond, or the Moomin Rider Soldier 76 skin we got as part of the One Punch Man collab. Yeah, they are kind of ass, but they're free skins based around an IP, which is really cool. Call me spoiled, but I think we need more of this because it gives fans of whatever the collab is something for free that they can show off and be like, hey, I played this event, got this skin, and I'm continuing to wear it because I love the IP it's from. Now, the last two things I'm going to talk about are things that I've already talked about in depth in their own separate videos, so if you want a longer video dedicated to talking all about them, whether you want to watch it to reminisce or you just flat out missed them, I'll put them as a card in the top right corner of the video. Starting with Limit 2, this Quickplay hacked was super fun. In short, OpenQ became slightly less open, making it so that each role was limited to a maximum of 2, meaning you physically couldn't run something stupid like 4 tanks and 1 DPS. This was a bit 50-50 because whilst yes, it made OpenQ a bit more bearable, it kinda defeated the purpose of having OpenQ as an option in the first place, because it limited you as a player to a specific role if you weren't fast enough at picking a hero. You wanted to play DPS? Too bad, you didn't insta-lock in 0.03 milliseconds after loading in, and now the DPS position is filled. Womp womp. This led to throwers and matches being a bit of a gamble, but when it worked a charm. And finally, let's talk about Overwatch Classic because, oh boy. Was it a failure? No, absolutely not. It was fun for what it was and super nostalgic. It's a bit of a shame that we got the day 1 patch rather than a later season of Overwatch 1 like when Ana came out or something along the lines of that, but it was a treat going back to clunky, messy Overwatch after being spoiled by modern Overwatch for so long. It just showed us that we take everything we have in the game now for granted. But that just about does it for this season and ultimately this video, excluding drives, but I've talked about them before and said they'd be coming back, so not really much else to say about those. So, the big question. Was this season any good? The answer is yes. It felt like it dragged on a little bit towards the end, but there was a bunch of stuff to do this season and none of it was awful. The execution of a few things was questionable at best, but nothing that made me straight up hate the game. Here's to Season 14, which we already know is gonna be an absolute treat. Finally, a Venture skin. Please, just please don't be shit. Anyways, thanks for watching. Once again, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video as it lets me know that you've enjoyed it and want to see more. Let me know what you thought about Season 13 in the comments and what you're excited for in Season 14. Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure you check out some of my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.